So how long has Madeline Tosh been around? And
Madeline Tosh started back in 2004, always
Okay.
based out of Fort Worth, Texas.
okay,
So she really started I feel like the hand-dyed revolution, and really brought a lot of these up-and-coming small hand dyers into play, which has been pretty cool. So it's been a pretty historical yarn for the hand-dye industry.
it's beautiful. I've been amazed by the variety of colors.
Yeah.
And there's just so you've got a lot of one-of-a-kind.
Yeah, these
here.
happen here just to be one-of-a-kinds, but even in our one-of-a-kinds, there's a lot of depth going on. So I think that's what's noticed most about Madeline Tosh is the depth of colors.
And are these like experiments or?
Some of them are colors that we're just trying to dye differently, and then some of them are just colors that didn't come out quite right? So the temperature might be a little bit too hot or too cold, too much acid, too much vinegar, a little bit pinch here, too much dye of one color.
Colors on the edge.
Yeah, exactly. So they're very unique and different, but people love one-of-a-kinds because
Excuse me.
you just won't get them again, right? Like they're just non-traditional.
Yeah, so how you're here for the length of, is this just tonight or?
Just tonight, 4 to 6 really is okay. I'll be here later, but I mean, if you want to get here a little bit after, I'll be here till probably 7. So yeah, definitely get on down there if you can. Otherwise, there's some really cool stuff going on with the yarn crawl this weekend.
Oh yeah.
I'll be at West 7th tomorrow as well too.
Okay. Excellent. That's another stop that we want to make, so hopefully we'll see you there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thanks a lot.
You bet.
We're still here at Yarn and You, and there's this wonderful self-striping yarn, and I'm here talking to what is
Rachel with Night Owl Fibers. So I was able to bring a nice selection of my self-striping yarns.
I
Here's
love
Feliz
that
Navidad.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited to be here. And tomorrow, I'm looking for tomorrow as well. And so I have the socks that I have here.
Now, is this your pattern, or are you doing a standard pattern, your favorite pattern? Or?
I did a standard square toe, and then I recently started using the OMG heel by Megan Williams, I believe.
I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's kind of like it's got part of the heel flap.
It's a short row, so you work it's paid for pattern, but you work a certain way of increasing so that you can do the mini gusset. So OMG stands for mock mini. Okay, OMG. There's like a mini short row gusset. I can't remember exactly how the letters go in order, but it is really cool.
Yeah, it looks like it might really hug nicely.
Yeah. And I had to go up a stitch count in my socks. And
because it's a little tighter?
It fits a little snugger than an afterthought heel, but if you just go up in stitch count, it makes my instep so much better.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, I'll have to check it out.
Here's the afterthought heel, so you can see the difference.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so this is my Trick or Treat colorway, and this is my Roman Holiday colorway.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah.
I love the Roman Holiday, all the variety there. Excellent. I would be so bad at naming things.
Sometimes I ask for help with naming.
Well, I appreciate it. This is really beautiful. And are you here during the whole length of the art crawl?
I will be here tomorrow, and then Stacy has a small selection of my yarn that she wholesaled a little while ago, so she'll have that here.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, thanks a lot for talking to me.
Absolutely.
We're here at Fancy Fibers, and just the first day of the North Texas Yarn Crawl. And do you have anything you can tell us about your store here? Is this the first year for you at the Yarn Crawl?
No, absolutely not. So I've been involved in the Yarn Crawl off and on since I opened a retail store, which would have been 10 years ago. I've been in 2 locations. This is my first year in my own space here on the square in Farmersville. So normally, this is a weaving, spinning, dyeing, rug hooking, punch needle, and embroidery shop. But just for the Yarn Crawl, we bring in a lot of special stuff that we wouldn't ordinarily have. Today, I have 2 trunk shows in here that are going to be in here the entire length of the crawl. The first one is Care Sharpin, Sharpin Designs. And Carrie's very eclectic. So she's a great dyer, and I love everything that she dyes. She dyes wool for rug hooking, for punch needle, for applique. She makes great looking bags. Those scissor fobs are real popular, and a lot of people don't know that she's raising her own German Angora rabbits.
Oh,
and
wow.
So she has rabbit fur. She has packages of rabbit fur for spinners and also rabbit fur for felters. Rabbit fur is very warm, so if you felt with it, it is going to be warm. We're also featuring a bunch of Carrie's patterns. You've seen some right here. The Kleenex boxes.
Yes, I love those.
Yes.
Hilarious.
And
Perfect for
then
Halloween.
Carrie has tons of these stuffed things that you'll see all over the shop. And then right next to you now, you'll see Carrie Dyes Bright. Most of everything that Carrie dyes is kind of a bright yarn. They're all named after cocktails. So for example, this one is a Manhattan. This yarn is a Manhattan. And she gives you the recipe for the cocktail.
Oh, well, that's useful. So as you knit, you can forget what you're knitting.
Yes. So we have lots of her yarn in here. Then we are also featuring Brooks Farm yarn. And that's everything else along the back here. And this is gorgeous yarn.
Oh, yeah.
Gorgeous hand-dyed yarn. Sherry Brooks has been an institution in shows, the show circle. I know a lot of people will remember her from DFW Fiber Fest. What some people might not know is that she traveled all over the country with this gorgeous yarn. There'd be, in a typical year, she might do 10 shows. She'd start at New York Sheep and Wool, and then the next weekend she'd do SAF. And even at DFW Fiber Fest, her booth, she always had at least a double, if not a triple booth. So Sherry has retired now. And
I'm sure it's a lot of work each time.
It's a huge work. She was telling me I've got 5 of her racks here, and they're not even all folded out. And she was telling me that they would leave for a show with 6 racks and 40 super big tubs of yarn.
These colors are so earthy, almost
are.
like yak or something. Is there some base that does that?
It is the base that she chooses. The base is natural. It's not white. And that is part of why her yarn is so rich. One of her bases, this Mossacero, is also gray. It's gray and natural white. And so that adds a richness to her colors. But she's now retired and not dyeing anymore. And this last one over here is 50% fine wool and 50% Surrey alpaca. So it is to die for sure. But
well, this is wonderful.
and we are really proud to have it. And I'm really glad that Sherry let me have her remaining complement of yarn to sell at this year's Yarn Crawl, and you won't want to miss it.
Well, this is beautiful. So how long are your extra setups?
All of this will be here the full 10 days of the crawl.
Okay.
Let me introduce you to my friend Elise. Come on over here, Elise.
You're on the spot.
You're on the spot. Elise is opening a restaurant here in town.
Oh, wonderful.
Called Pieville.
Pieville?
And so,
Pizza pie?
No.
No, pie.
Oh,
So until
That might be
Pieville is actually
tempting.
open, we are serving Elise's pies
oh,
all during the crawl.
oh,
So pies, cakes,
okay.
the displays,
Oh.
margaritas.
Wow.
We had brisk business today. If you have time to sit, there's also coffee available. But most people are taking theirs and a fork and eating it on the road.